Has there ever been sibling rivalry between you guys? Like in such, maybe not to the extreme of Noel and Liam Gallagher, but I'm sure there are discrepancies. But is there ever a point where it's just like, this is not just really working out right now, and it's maybe a family issue, really, more than it just like is a business issue?
I think it's we have, there's not really that push and pull, like with the power and control over who wants the spotlight or anything. Like we really understand what our jobs are in the band, and of course we have our fights and stuff like that. But that any band kind of has those same kinds of things, and it usually never gets to a point where like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. It's just sort of like, if it ever would get to that point, it's just like you got to kind of step back and ask yourself if the situation is worth ending all this work that you've done. So it ends up usually being, with brothers, it's usually you are actually agreeing, but you're arguing. You're arguing, but you actually end up agreeing on the same thing. It's just how it's being said. So it's just sort of like, you get past the little things, and but I think it's every band. If you're in a band with someone, then you're pretty much you end up being brothers with them. It's like Jason's pretty much a brother in our band. Now, like, it's just like we're all kind of brothers. We all do the same bickering with each other, and I think that once you get into that kind of relationship with someone, that it ends up happening. That that those kinds of things come up. But for the most part, we're super solid, and everything's amazing. We never usually get into anything that's like heated. There's no physical fights or anything.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good then.
Totally.
So now all of this, it creates the foundation of Crash Kings, and the formula of how the band is and the uniqueness of it, the live shows, of course, and the foundation of your family, and how the trio is now a rock solid family. This led to Linda Perry taking notice to you guys. How did that end up happening, and what was it like meeting her and hearing this legendary, person in front of the music scene and behind the music scene trying to get a hold of you guys?
It wasn't as like normal as you'd think. When I moved out to Los Angeles in 2005, I was waiting tables. Ended up waiting on her.
Oh wow!
And she just got up. She just picked up a vibe from me that I was a talented musician, and I don't know how, and I don't know what the vibe was or whatever. She just thought I looked like a lead singer in a rock band, and I didn't even have like long hair. I was wearing glasses. I was like really kind of unsuspecting that I would even be in a band, I thought. And most of the other people that were working there were all actors, And she just got a vibe about me, and we just kind of talked a little bit, and I told her I'd play the piano, but I wasn't really a singer, and because I'd stopped singing for about 7 years and was just focusing on piano and stuff. And so she was like, it ended up just being this thing, and she invited me to a party, and then the next thing I knew, I was like going to this party, and then she ended up hooking me up with this band that I did a U.S. tour with in 2006, and then I had just she kind of planted the idea in my head that maybe I could be a lead singer, and so I started writing these songs, and then sent some songs to my brother in New York. He loved it, and he moved out to L.A., and we kind of, and on that previous tour that I had done, that's where I met Jason, and I said, hey, you want to just jam with my brother and I? I'm doing this thing, and I'm singing. And he was just kind of like, okay, whatever, you're singing? Like, nobody could imagine me as a lead singer, just by my speaking voice or whatever, But we got in a room, and he was just like, wow, like, damn, and my brother was just like, yeah, he's like, and there's an immediate energy there, and it was awesome, and we just kind of kept doing it, and then we were like, let's do some demos, so we made some demos. We gave him I brought him over to Linda, because I felt like I had formed this relationship with her, and so I brought her these demos. She called me back a week later, loved them, and wanted to hear what we were doing live. And so she came into our studio and wanted to hear more songs, and we showed her some more stuff. And she was like, "Wow, I'd really love to sign you, but we have to do this in a way that's not just like out of the blue, because I'm a pop producer and you guys are rock and roll, and let's build this slowly." So we decided, okay, well we'll do some more demos, and we'll try to get them sounding even better. And then we brought them to her studio, and this guy, who's now one of my best friends, Seth Von Paulus, is the studio manager over there. He ended up mixing the tracks. And then Linda sent them to Sylvia Rohn at Motown. So it was just sort of like this relationship that was just very, I don't know. She just took a chance that like some like random waiter dude had this talent, and
Right.
I didn't even know that I was going to do that. If you had asked me a year before meeting her, that someone told me, "Dude, you're going to be a lead singer in a rock and roll band," I would have laughed in their face.
Of course. It's like, this is like the best by accident but totally organic kismet story I've ever heard, man. Like, 'cause it's not just like, yo, we're in this band, we're gigging around, we moved out to LA to pursue a dream, and fuck, like nothing was happening, and then, oh, Linda Perry got a hold of us. This is like, I wasn't even in a band. She's calling me like, "Oh, let's hang out. You should be on the road and try and form something." This is great.
It's amazing, and she's been so super like incredible with us. It's been an amazing relationship, and she's really helped us, and I think it's just been so great to assign to she was pretty much like, I want to get distribution with Universal Motown before I sign you, like I just want to make sure I can get them to back this. And when they did, it was so great to be on her label, because we really got to make, we get to make the music we want to make. We get to do what we want to do, and it's really like she supports what we want to do, and luckily it follows that Universal's into it as well, and so it's really great that artistically she's on our side, and it's awesome to have an A&R person who's also an artist and understands music. So
of course.
It's really special, and we're one of 5 acts on her little label, so that's pretty amazing as well, because we get a lot of attention there. So it's really special, and we're really, really fortunate that it all kind of happened this way, but it's awesome. It's a great thing, and a very crazy story, but it's all true.
Yeah.